Hello and welcome to Insights. I am Elizabeth Omori. Governance is the process of making and enforcing decisions within an organization or society. It is the process of interactions through laws, social norms, power and language are structured in communication of an organized society. Good governance ensures that political, social and economic priorities are based on extensive consensus in any nation, and that the voices of the most vulnerable are heard in decision-making. The quality of governance a nation has depends on the leadership. Today, we will x-ray the relationship between good governance and leadership for development. The aim of taxation is to raise revenue to meet public expenditure. Economists say it affects production, consumption and investments. Recently, President Bola Tinubu signed some new executive orders towards ameliorating hardship occasioned by multiple taxations in the country. What does this portend for businesses? You will be hearing from an expert. So, stay with us. We'll be right back.
I'm fascinated with the discourse on national monuments and assets and how much is being done to preserve and
look into the language issue. We have turned English to become like a pride value in our own cultural values.
National cash transfer is not a COVID-19.
Invasion 1897 was a deliberate
many of these people coming to the urban areas now.
These and applications, there are terms and conditions that
of course it is the union of two people, a man and a woman coming together.
My name is Nnamdi Odipo.
And I'm Elizabeth Omori.
Educational deprivation is not the end of the road.
Agencies and stakeholders to proactively tackle these challenges.
Women in most countries of the world constitute about 50% of registered voters.
Kevin Williams reporting for Dateline 360.
In Jos, Caleb Gochin, Dateline 360.
Dateline 360. Shidi Okrafo.
For Dateline 360.
In Lagos, Michael Olaleye.
Reporting for Dateline 360.
I am Omosola Omojola. Thanks for tuning in.
Leadership is an important component of governance and key to nation building. There's a distinction between the concepts of governance and politics. And this is because politics involves processes by which a group of people reach collective decisions to make an impact. What makes leadership critical to building a progressive nation? What are the challenges confronting governance in the 21st century? These and more will be addressed by my guest, Pascal Agbodike, member of the House of Representatives, representing Ihiala Federal Constituency, Anambra State. Mr. Agbodike, thank you so much for joining us on Insights.
Thank you, Nigerians.
Now, how would you describe governance in Nigeria?
Thank you all. Governance is something that has to do with people with requisite qualification. Qualification is not only the extrinsic value. You talk about the intrinsic value of education. Having the wherewithal, those who has the interests of the masses at heart, they are the people, the type of people that you provide quality leadership, the type of leadership Nigeria has been yearning for. So, today, in the last election that produced the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, he is barely 1 month in office. And we are seeing things working in a very positive way. Nigerians are watching. We are also watching from the legislative point of view. Being a legislator, we are there to oversight the executive, checkmating him and his ESCO members on where they are doing it right and where we think they are not getting it right. We can checkmate them. So leadership is a collective effort of both the leader and the led. If we join together, we provide good leadership for Nigeria.
For Nigerians, what really makes a good leader? What are the qualities of a good leader?
A good leader is a person who always have the ears of the people he is leading. A good leader must be selfless. A self-centered person cannot be seen to be a good leader. And today, I'm not surprised why we have three arms of government: the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. So leadership is not something that centers on one person. In Nigeria, they decentralize it. This one complements the other. So leadership is what both the leader and the led should join together to help the person at the center to provide good leadership. If and only if the person at the center is selfless, it can provide good leadership to the people.
To the people. All right, now let's draw the distinction between leadership and governance. You know, leadership cannot be separated from governance. And this is because they both promote development. Now, talking about development and our democracy, are we fed well in this regard?
Looking at Nigerian democracy today, we are still work in progress.
Okay.
And we are hopeful for a better tomorrow. Looking at the 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria, that which we think that have not been doing well before, I believe this government, if God permits, can get it right with all our support.
What are the challenges of the 21st century for a leader? And I ask because you're also a leader. When we talk about leadership, you will be mentioned as far as this 10th Assembly is concerned.
My people, Nigeria is our country, and we don't have any other country. Leadership starts from our various homes, from school. It's not only politicians that can be considered a leader. You can provide leadership wherever you are, even in your office. People are looking up to you to provide good leadership. And by the time people understand that politics is not a private venture, rather a temporary position for you to hold for and on behalf of your people, one will not cease to provide good leadership.
When we talk about leadership and governance in the Southeast, and if we are to consider security challenges confronting the region, why are we not making progress in putting an end to the crisis in the Southeast?
The challenges, I don't see it as a major problem. It's a challenge. Coming together, we can surmount. We can overcome the challenges we are facing in my own region, the Southeast geopolitical zone. It is predominantly in the 5 states that makes up 5 Southeast: Anambra, Imo, Enugu, and Ebonyi State, Abia. My people, if you want to cure any ailment, you look at the cause of that ailment. If we can have that love and know that the 6 geopolitical zone, that it is the 6 geopolitical zone that come together to make up this country, I believe that problem, if the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu, want to solve that problem, he should look at the cries from the people of the Southeast. We are calling on him to come for our aid, to find a political solution to the problem that people of Southeast are facing. He knows the problem and he can solve it. The leadership of the Southeast has been talking to him. As the brand new president of Nigeria today, is part of the things we are praying that he can do for the people of Southeast, to find a political solution to the crisis we're having in the Southeast. We plead to him to please consider the yearnings, the cries of the people of the Southeast. What I'm saying, let us bring the issue on the table. It can be discussed. It can be discussed. Nigeria is one, I believe that. Whichever thing any geopolitical zone is agitating for, let it be discussed on a round table. With that, we can find a lasting solution to the problem we're facing in the Southeast.
All right, let's digress a little. Have we been able to harness the manpower skills for industrialization in Nigeria? Let's take cues from Newi and the very big market in Aba.
Okay, thank you. My sister, last week, I sponsored a motion calling on federal government to bring to life the Osaka seaport. It is the seaport, one of the major seaport, the only seaport in the Southeast. That seaport has gone moribund since after the Civil War. It has been abandoned. The people of the Southeast, we are entrepreneurial minded. We are hardworking people. If you go to Newi, you will see the knowledge, you see the wisdom, God-given wisdom to Igbo race. We are developing that place with even little or no support from government. Government should support our traders, our industrialists in the Southeast by bringing to life that Osaka seaport. That Osaka seaport is about 18 nautical miles to the to the major sea. About 18 nautical miles to Atlantic Ocean. If you can dredge the Ras River that house that Osaka seaport, more development, they will diversify economy. It will decongest the seaport in Lagos. Lagos seaport will be decongest. Every geopolitical zone should have sense of belonging, knowing that we are all Nigeria and Nigeria is one. We have a lot of youth, a lot of entrepreneurs, people with wisdom in the Southeast. We are not known for social vices.
At all.
Not at all. I plead to this government led by President Tinubu, Ahmed Tinubu. I believe he can do that. He loves Igbos so much. He can do it for the people of Southeast. And we shall reciprocate it. We will show him that we also love him. Our people are crying. You go to Lagos, you see the contributions of the people of the Southeast in developing Lagos. Go to Kano, you see the contributions of the people of the Southeast in developing North. Everywhere you see our people, they believe that Nigeria is one. And they believe that anywhere they are, they contribute meaningfully in the development of those zones.
That's quite understandable, but I would like to hear from you again, your expectations from the Tinubu presidency. This time around, I'm asking because we have different political parties coming together to form the 10th Assembly, but not minding the political differences we have.
My people, I believe after election, we should be talking about governance. We don't talk about political party. I know we are flying the flag of our various political parties. But today, we're talking about Nigeria, the project Nigeria. We have a president. We're talking about how to develop Nigeria. And with that, he can achieve a lot. He will have the support of every political party to bring meaningful development to Nigeria.
Oftentimes when we talk about development, women empowerment is critical to our development. So now that you represent your people, what would you be doing for the women to make a difference?
Women emancipation there are so many laws, bills I will sponsor. A bill that will liberate women from all kinds of suffering, from every cultural humiliation, from any zone in Nigeria. I will sponsor such bill. I'm also researching. And the program that will empower women, especially youth and women in my area. We are looking at the 2024 budget, waiting for the constituency project. Women are very important to the nation, and we can never look down on them.
We are very important indeed. You know, President Tinubu recently took several decisions from the student loan to suspension of tax on businesses, and then the subsidy removal. What would be your words to Nigerians on steps taken by the government to improve the economy?
I think it is too early to judge this administration.
Okay.
Every administration will come with a roadmap, the plan on how to govern Nigeria for the probably for the next 4 years. So it is too early to judge the government. I believe that Nigeria should exercise patience, though they have the right to complain whenever they think that the executive is not doing well. They can bring their complaint. And I believe executives should also listen to Nigerians. But to me, in my own personal assessment, subsidy removal has been argued, and majority of Nigerians supported it, that it should be removed. But the aim of removing the subsidy should be achieved. It should be achieved. That is what Nigerians are looking for. That money, that savings from subsidy should be channeled to some important places to grow our economy, to grow the GDP of this country. There are so many ways we can reinvest that subsidy money to favor every citizen of this country. And we are looking up to this government that they will do that. When they present 2024 budget, or possibly the supplementary budget, we can look at it and see where they are coming from.
All right, you know, when we talk about development again, more oftentimes the youth play an important role in the development of any nation. Are there areas you would like to address when we talk about youth development?
If human capital development is the #1 development, giving quality education first, most people are being indoctrinated into societal ills, either knowingly or unknowingly. But hence, you can give quality education to our youth. Other things shall follow. Bible said, seek you first the kingdom of God and its righteousness. Every other thing shall be added unto you. When you provide quality education for Nigerians, every other thing shall follow, which is not limited to road infrastructure, among other things. Insecurity is the major problem that we are facing, that cause food scarcity or high cost of food. Farmers will go to farms, and government, through agric loan, will also support farmers for food sufficiency in Nigeria. Our people are industrious. We have so many farmers. I'm also a farmer. I have farms. Most times, the people who are going to the farm to work, they complain that they are afraid of going to farms because of criminals in our bushes. So it is a very big problem that we should also tackle for us to have food sufficiency in Nigeria.
You've talked on insecurity, food sufficiency, education, women empowerment, and governance. They all depend on the style or the kind of leadership we have, which makes governance more interesting. But what is the way forward for us so that we can overcome the realities before us? We have a global reality, economic-wise. COVID-19 came, we surmounted it. But there's an economic reality. So in Nigeria, how do we surmount these realities so that we can move forward?
Good governance can solve all these problems. Good governance, if legislators can make viable laws, do proper oversight functions to government, to the executive, they will sit up. And no, I believe very soon, President will name his cabinet members. We have to join together. Lawmakers make viable laws. Executive, they do their own very well. I believe we can solve even insecurity and the economic problem in Nigeria. We have not forgotten the core functions of a legislature, which is representation, legislation, and oversight. Through the power of oversight given to us by the Constitution, we can contribute our quota in bringing good governance in Nigeria through major oversight functions to government agencies and ministries. They will sit up and things will go well.
Pascal Agbodike, Member, House of Representatives, representing Ihiala Federal Constituency, Anambra State. We want to thank you so much for coming on Insight. Thank you for sharing your points and your thoughts with us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm fascinated with the discourse on national monuments and assets and how much is being done to preserve and
look into the language issue. We have turned English to become like a pride value in our own cultural values.
National cash transfer is not a COVID-19.
Taxation 1897 was a deliberate
You know, many of these people coming to the urban areas now.
These and applications, there are terms and conditions that
of course it is the union of two people, a man and a woman coming together.
My name is Nnamdi Odipo.
And I'm Elizabeth Omori.
Educational deprivation is not the end of the world.
Agencies and stakeholders to proactively tackle these challenges.
Women in most countries of the world constitute about 50% of registered voters.
Kevin Williams, reporting for Dateline 360.
In Jos, Caleb Gochin, Deadline 360.
Deadline 360. Shidi Okrafo.
For Dateline 360.
In Lagos, Michael Olaleye.
Reporting for Deadline 360.
I am Omosola Omojola. Thanks for tuning in.
Tax system is confronted with many challenges such as multiplicity of taxes, non-availability of database, tax touting, complex nature, and non-payment of tax refunds. In a bid to curb multiple taxations in the business arena, President Bola Tinubu signed 4 executive orders, which include the suspension of the 5% excise tax on telecommunication services, the Finance Act effective date variation, now the 3rd to September 1 for commencement, tax policy excise duty escalation on locally manufactured products, and newly introduced green tax by way of excise tax on single-use plastics, including plastic containers and bottles, all in a bid to address issues surrounding tax policies. With this decision, what do entrepreneurs stand to gain? This and other questions will be answered by the founder, Youth Employ, Akin Bisola. Akin, thank you so much for joining us on Insight.
Thank you for having me.
All right, before we hit the nitty-gritty, how are entrepreneurs, let me ask you, how are entrepreneurs coping in the face of the global economic realities?
Entrepreneurship is not an easy feat. But I think it's important for every entrepreneur to understand that there are qualities that make for an entrepreneur, right? And entrepreneurship in general needs, right? So entrepreneurs have to remain resilient and, continue to look for innovative ways to mitigate whatever the problems and the global challenges we're facing, even as a continent in Africa and Nigeria as a country too.
Okay, you said it's not easy. What are the challenges you face let me direct it to you as an entrepreneur. What challenges do you face?
Okay, so as an entrepreneur today, quite a number of challenges face myself as an entrepreneur, right? So we have the problem of having to the cost of production increasing. We have problems around staffing in the country at the moment, because also the increase in the hike in the fuel price also really affecting entrepreneurs, because you have to look at reviewing the salaries of the workers, or you have to look at also reducing the number of staff strength that you have, because you have to now consider the salaries you're paying these people and how much you're going to spend on transportation. So as entrepreneurs, we need to begin to think of innovative ways to begin to be able to mitigate these issues, so that we are giving our people, the people who work for us also, they are giving them a soft landing, so that they don't really feel the harsh realities that's been confronted by these changes.
Okay. So what would be your position on the suspension of tax by President Bola Tinubu?
Okay, so President Bola Tinubu, quite a very he's been doing a lot of things. I think it's about 51 days in government today, and he has done quite a number of reforms and given a lot of orders and all that. But as regard tax, I think if you are going to ask me, is it a step to the right direction or not? I would say that whatever you want to see, the tax is going to give a good relief to business people, and it will also help to increase business expansion, because entrepreneurs can now channel some of these money they are getting into other aspects of the economy. They can increase production. They can be able to also cater for their staff welfare. They can also now begin to think about expansion and how they can also begin to earn more for their businesses. So I think time will tell, but it's also important to also embrace some of the government policies, because we need to understand that the president as a person also have the entrepreneurs behind his mind, or he has the entrepreneurs in his mind.
What does this move portend for the community of entrepreneurs?
Okay, so the new policy is going to really help to make entrepreneurs to now begin to think how they can begin to compete globally, and also open up Nigerian businesses. We have Nigeria as a country. We have the market. We have about 200 million in population. So it also opens us to a lot of foreign investors, seeing Nigeria as a very enticing and good place to come and invest their money.
But do you see this attracting more investments or another avenue to evade tax by unscrupulous business owners?
Okay, so I think I would just also want to encourage entrepreneurs to try to also support the government in the reforms and the, especially as regard the taxation and all that we're talking about this now. I want to encourage entrepreneurs to really encourage government, like the saying, give what belongs to Caesar to Caesar. Try to play your own part, play your quota, and don't try to cut corners and all that. Do the right thing, and also when you do the right thing, you can now demand government to also do the right thing. So let us play our own part as business people, as entrepreneurs. Let's play our part, because this is going to really, from my own perspective, I believe this is going to open up Nigerian businesses to investors. It's going to open us to a global market if we can also on our own part do the right thing. So let's do the right thing. If government is bringing in policies, let's do the right thing on our own part. And let's now, when we have done the right thing, we can now demand from the government.
Yeah, okay. My next question in a few minutes will center on the fourth order. But before we talk about the fourth order, there's this issue of a friendly business environment. As an entrepreneur, has the business environment in Nigeria been very favorable to you as an entrepreneur?
Okay, so as an entrepreneur and somebody who is privileged to there are a lot of challenges, and the environment is not. I can't say the environment is 100% conducive, and also this with me now. I will now want to appeal to the government, because whatever plans that the government have, you know, it will only take time for it to be reviewed in a bit, right? So I want to encourage the government. I want to plead with the government and encourage entrepreneurs. I'll plead with the government to first let the government create a more conducive environment. A lot of businesses at some point before the new administration had to relocate their business outside Nigeria, you know, and once that happens, unemployment rate will increase. Some people have to leave the shores of the country to go and do business elsewhere, you know, and all that. So, but if we can look at how government can begin to put in more measures, more palliatives, and more reforms that will help to also give a conducive environment for entrepreneurship to thrive, then, you know, we will not only, because we will not only now have a good, our economy will not only be boosted, right? It will also help to reduce the unemployment rate we have in Nigeria as a country. It helps also improve the prosperity of the country. Because for me, I believe that entrepreneurship development is key to our prosperity as a nation. And if we're able to, with the population that we have brilliant minds, we have bright minds doing business, and even people who also work for us. If we can begin to have more soft landing, conducive environment for us to thrive, and I think things will get better. And you know, if you plant a seed on the right soil, it's going to grow. So, but if the seed is planted on a soil that stiffens its growth, then there will be problems. So I believe that we're on track, and the government is playing their own part, but they can also do more.
They can do more. Some key areas: enabling environment, financial inclusion. But really, when we talk about financial aspects of entrepreneurship, are financial policies too stiff for you guys to do your businesses?
Okay, so if I'm going to
you
talk,
took a sigh.
I'm going to talk from my own perspective, right? I really we want to say that in the last couple of days and months, you know, we've been met with serious changes. We only want to encourage the government to keep producing a soft landing for us as entrepreneurs, and you know, if the governments can believe in us, and they can also, just like we are believing them to have put them in office, they should also believe in us to also be able to, when they put all these things together and they make the environment conducive for us. Everybody wants a good environment. Everybody wants a soft landing. Everybody wants government to be able to cushion some of the effects that we're met with, even with the hike in dollar and all that. If government is able to also encourage us the more, you know, entrepreneurs, we are going to do a lot. You are going to really do a lot to also increase the prosperity of the country and our economy in all.
And the economy. Accessing funds.
Okay.
Has it been very easy for entrepreneurs?
Okay, if I'm going to say that, if I'm going to be honest, it's not, accessing funds is not easy for entrepreneurs. I believe the government is also in the position to also prove entrepreneurs wrong, prove Nigerians wrong, that they can also help them to access funds, and also when these funds are being accessed to, also on the part of entrepreneurs, to when some entrepreneurs also get some of these funds, you are not supposed to get the funds to now get married to a new wife, buy a new car. Some of these funds should be reinvested back to the business. So that's also an unfortunate situation from the part of the entrepreneurs. Some of them get this money and they don't channel it to the right sources. They go to start living a la vida local life.
Live large.
Some start to live large, relocate outside the country and go and use like 3 months of holiday and all that. No, when some of these things come, invest it back into the business. When you invest it back into the business, every investment will always command return. So when you invest in your business, when you invest whatever funding you get, maybe from the government, maybe from foreign investors back into your business, the return will, at the long run, you know, it will also have a good effect on your business. Or you can now hire more staff. People, even government or the foreign investors will believe in you, and they'll be able to. They want to invest more. So, but when you get the money, you get married to a new wife, you are throwing parties up and down, you are buying a new car, you are looking for the next Gucci watch to wear. No, I think sometimes our hearts are not in the right places. And I also want to challenge us as entrepreneurs. Every money that comes in for your business is not for you.
At all.
So any money that comes into the organization is not for Akin. Akin should be able to now tailor the money to get the business to be expanded, how we can also contribute our own quota to reduce unemployment in Nigeria. Those should be our concern. And also making sure that we are giving government what belongs to it. Like I said, give to Caesar what is for Caesar.
That's true. Okay, let's focus on the fourth order, which is on suspension of the newly introduced green tax by way of excise tax on single-use plastics, including plastic containers and bottles. Oftentimes, our plastics, after use, they all end up in the oceans. How will this help curb plastic management?
Okay, so I believe that that's a very is a laudable one, and it's something that if sometimes we've been met with cases where when some of these policies are put in place, there's one thing to talk about the policies, to put the policies in place. There's another thing to follow through on these policies. So talking about the plastic contributing to waste, and also causing some environmental challenges, as you may see, blocking our drainages and all that, which will in turn now cause flooding, and all that. If all these things could be, and for those who want to also think about burning them and all that, it also does a lot of things, deplete the ozone layer, and also causes air pollution and all that. So if the government has put in place this measure, I think it will go a long way to also encourage green entrepreneurs to also be able to know that Nigeria, the government is creating an enable environment for them as a business to thrive. Because the green economy is also another area where I think this government is really focusing on.
During the inaugural speech of Mr. President, he actually laid emphasis on youth empowerment, getting them employed, involving private investors, a public-private partnership to make sure that the youth are comfortable. Now, so many youth are actually leaving the shores of the country, but you are seeing the opportunities, the potential inherent in Nigeria.
Nigeria is a blessed country. Nigeria is a blessed nation. And to be honest with you, I've not for once thought about leaving Nigeria. Because whatever you believe in, you stay true. So if I say I believe in Nigeria, we're talking about youth employment, we're talking about a community where we're encouraging entrepreneurs, that Nigeria is a good place to practice entrepreneurship and all that. And I keep saying something, you can be planted locally and make impact globally as a business. So you don't have to jump around, you can stay where you are in this country and begin to make impact. So one of the reasons why I've not left is because, or I've not even thought about leaving, right? It's because I really believe in this country. I believe in Nigeria. I believe in Africa as a country. I believe in Nigeria as a continent. I believe in Nigeria as a country, and I believe that we're going to get it right. We have the capital, we have the human resources, we have the natural resources to thrive. We only need to look inward. We need to look inward. Our help is not abroad. Our help is at home.
Yes. Of course. Okay, in looking inward, let me ask you, you're a businessman, an entrepreneur, and you have people you mentor, you talk to, you help. How do we see that business opportunity? How do we leverage business opportunities around us, in our community, in our village, on our streets? How do we see these businesses or recognize them to know that, oh, there's a need? We need to address it. We need to pay attention to it. Educate us on this.
Okay, I'll start by saying that it is Nigerians that will build Nigeria. It is Nigerians that will build Nigeria. And talking about business, entrepreneurs leveraging on opportunities around, entrepreneurship starts from understanding and citing a problem, understanding your environment and seeing a problem. So that's what entrepreneur, and who is an entrepreneur? Entrepreneur is somebody who is able to see a solution to a problem. You know, when you see a solution to a problem, that can now be, you can now turn that solution into a product that people can now buy. You can sell in form of services, you can render in form of service, or you can make it into a goods that people can purchase from you. So I want to say that Nigeria as a country, every smart young person should understand that when we have all these kind of challenges we are talking about, they have only also created an entrepreneurship, a business opportunity for you. It has only created an entrepreneurship gap for you to fill. So, for instance, if we're going to go back to time when COVID came, a lot of people who never even thought about making nose masks started making nose masks. People started making ventilators. People started making all sort of. You see tailors now doing. At that point, they were doing too much. So if it was during COVID time, maybe I would have been wearing a stripe nose mask now, just to match with my my dress, you know, complement my dressing and all that. So let us begin to look beyond. Let us quit complaining. I know a lot of things are happening. We are not encouraged by some of the things that is happening around us. Fuel price is increasing daily and all that, you know, hike in food, hike in transportation. But I want to also encourage us. Let us look around us. When you look around you, when you carefully look around you, you will see a problem. And inside that problem, there's a solution. In that solution is where your money is. So in this country, the reason why a lot of people will continue to have money, the reason why Dangote will be the richest man in Africa, coming from Nigeria. So if Dangote can come from Nigeria and is the richest man in Africa, that means another Dangote can rise from Nigeria and become another rich man in Africa. It's only that Dangote looked inward. He saw problems. He saw the challenges we are faced as a country and created solutions that can help us to begin to that can help us to get better. And also, as see, let me tell you this: entrepreneurship. As you solve people's problem, people pay for solving their problem, and that's how you become rich. So look at it that way. Look for the problems. Problems are one of the things that motivate entrepreneurs, because when you see problems, you are happy. When you see problems, you are excited, because when you look for a solution to that problem, then people come to pay you, whether in form of a goods or producing a goods, or you're rendering a service, and you are getting richer. So for every problem solved, you are getting richer. For every problem you ignore, you are losing money.
And that's the bad part, because you are seeing a problem and you are making money, you are getting richer. I like that part. Anyway. Okay, now.
Maybe because I like money.
It also means you can be the black Bill Gates on the global charts, making impact, empowering people, providing jobs, making life comfortable. Now, the suspension of tax on businesses. Do you see this as a very important player in the business arena? Do you see this opening new vistas for businesses and entrepreneurs? Will they be encouraged? Oh, the suspension on tax, let me quickly do this.
Okay. I'm going to say that the suspension of tax is going to really, if properly followed through, it's going to really help entrepreneurs to expand. It's going to really help entrepreneurs to scale up. It's going to really help entrepreneurs to even look at how they can even begin to contribute their own quota to their immediate environment, to their community, in form of CSR, you know. And it also helped to also encourage employability. So entrepreneurs, in expanding, you know, if I'm going to expand my business, for instance, and I have to buy another car, for instance, I will have to employ a driver. I've just given somebody a job. So as you expand your business, as this tax suspension comes, the money should be tailored. Whatever things you are trying to cut out should be tailored back into the business. Don't now use that opportunity to now begin to live to improve your lifestyle, change your lifestyle and all that. No. Let us encourage each other. Let us follow through on these things. Let us see it as another opportunity for us to grow our business. And as we grow our business, it has an effect on the economy of the country. You know, so let us see it as like that.
Like that. I want to ask a very personal question. You know, when you want to start a business and it's like, this thing is very slow, it's not moving forward, how do we encourage such people?
As an entrepreneur, right, entrepreneurship is not easy. But every entrepreneur has to be visionary. You need to see beyond the now. Whoa. So when you are going through those hard times, it is what you have seen that will keep you moving. Because entrepreneurship is a journey of you being resilient, you being determined, you being committed to your cause. So resilience is that whatever it is, whatever the government policy, whatever it is, whatever you are making sales, you are not making sales, you put through, you stay true. You need to have staying power as an entrepreneur. You need to be visionary. You need to see beyond the now. You need to see your business, even right from that small room, see it as another Dangote, as another big gate, like you've said. You know, you need to see it like that. You need to be committed to cause. You need to stay true. Don't do this today. Don't let people know you for something. Dangote has been in that space for a while, and that's why it's getting the best from there. You cannot get the best from if you plant a seed. If you plant a seed today and you uproot it tomorrow, you plant it somewhere else, you uproot it tomorrow. When will you have the plant? And if you don't have the plant, when you begin to reap the fruits? So understand that you need to have staying power as entrepreneurs. You need to be visionary. You need to be resilient. You need to be committed to cause. Don't be jumping from pillar to post. This business is the one that is raining today. Let me jump. We have quite a number of entrepreneurs who have been there. And young people, I'm going to talk to you. People, young persons like me, right? We don't have the staying power. We are always easily carried away by what's happening around us. Our friend just bought Lexus. You don't know how I got the Lexus. And my friend just bought a house in Banana Island. You don't know how I bought the house. Stay true. Believe in your own. See, no entrepreneurship journey is the same. We can read the story of men that have gone ahead. You can read the story of Tedola. You can read the story of Mike Adenuga. You can read the story of Dangote. But no entrepreneurship journey is the same. You can only pick lessons from what these people have done, how they navigated that path to get to where they have gotten. But no entrepreneurship journey is the same. So believe in your own journey and go through your own journey. Go through it. Thank you.
Commitment, dedication, knowing your trade and staying focused, very key. Akinbisola, founder, Youth Employ, we want to thank you so much for coming on Insight. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for your thoughts.
Thank you so much.
I'm fascinated with the discourse on national monuments and assets and how much is being done to preserve and
look into the language issue. We have turned English to become like a pride value in our own cultural values.
It's not cash transfer. It's not a COVID-19.
Invasion 1897 was a deliberate
You know, many of these people coming to the urban areas now.
These and applications, there are terms and conditions that
of course it is the union of two people, a man and a woman coming together.
My name is Nnamdi Odipo.
And I'm Elizabeth Omori.
Educational deprivation is not the end of the world.
Agencies and stakeholders to proactively tackle these challenges.
Women in most countries of the world constitute about 50% of registered voters.
Kevin Williams, reporting for Dateline 360.
In Jos, Caleb Gochin, Deadline 360.
Deadline 360. Shidi Okrafo.
For Dateline 360.
In Lagos, Michael Olaleye.
Reporting for Deadline 360.
I am Omosola Omojola. Thanks for tuning in.
And that's Insight today. Thank you for watching. Do endeavor to join us next week for more insightful discussions. I'm Elizabeth Omori. Remain patriotic, responsible, and safe. Bye for now.